I once quit so hard my boss called the cops. I used to work at a cell phone carrier storefront. I had been there 5 years. I was a salesperson of the month multiple times and always had good numbers. I had a boss who was brought in as the store manager as part of a college new hire program, despite many in-store employees being way more qualified with life experience in cell phone sales for 15 plus years. Eventually, after she ran off many of the veterans, I was left to open the store one morning by myself while the manager was on the floor greeting people. She had the biggest hard-on for micromanaging and always would stand over my shoulder being critical of how long I would take with each customer. She didn't have any work experience, so there's that too. She would never open her own register. Well, this time I had about a dozen different customers needing help and they were all lined up waiting and pissed. My boss comes over while I'm trying to go as fast as possible and says in my ear, "You're taking too long, you need to move faster." I explained that each customer has specific needs and I must make sure they are completely satisfied to avoid a bad review call and get written up, again. New policy where she would replay our call reviews in team meetings where we all got to listen to customers tell us how horrible we were and even assault our appearance. She didn't take a hint, so I turned around and asked her to come with me for a second to the back. She followed me and immediately said, "What's the deal?" I said, "I think I'm done here, I can't work like this." To which she said, "If you leave you know you can't come back." To which I simply said, "What a poor choice of response." I took out my store keys and handed them to her, much to her surprise, and walked out of the store. I turned around and leaned on the public rail and watched through the window as she tried to deal with all the customers, and I smoked a cig. She then went back to the back, pausing helping the customers, and called the cops. She then tried to tell them I was loitering and wouldn't leave. She also told them I was harassing the business. The cops arrived and found out the truth and told her I did nothing wrong and I was allowed to be there on public property. As she rolled her eyes at police, I reminded her that she's taking too long and the customers need her. I watched for another 10 minutes and left. Fuck that. I may be petty, maybe, but she could fuck right the hell off. I would start smoking again just to do that too. Me too, but I'd probably stand out there attempting to be all chill and nonchalant, while hacking and coughing uncontrollably the whole time. Just picturing it is hilarious. I almost blame the upper management more than that store manager. Don't get me wrong, she richly deserved that outcome, but why did they think it would be better to hire some college kid with no work experience to manage a store? We are looking for someone to manage a cell phone store that employs people who have been working there for 15 years. I see you have no work experience. You're hired. I am baffled by a college new hire program that will put kids in a position like that with no experience at all.
Crocs just fired my husband for reporting a coworker who said he used to lynch gay men. The coworker still works there. My husband was just fired from the Crocs distribution center in Dayton. If you're under the impression that Crocs cares at all about minorities, you're wrong. Last week, my husband reported a coworker for multiple transphobic, misogynistic, racist, and homophobic comments. These included complaining about having to stand in line to clock out behind a group of women in headscarves, referring to them as towel heads. Complaining that he had to work with women in general. I know we need people, but why did it have to be a girl? Telling someone that back in his day he used to trick these F-gits into going to a party, drive them into an open field, and kick the shit out of them. When talking about a transman he worked with, she's got titties, she uses the girls' bathroom, she's a girl. The supervisor he complained to went straight to the guy that made the comments and outright told him my husband was the one that complained about him. The coworker didn't deny any of these comments. He explicitly told my husband, "I don't remember saying that, but I probably did. I say a lot of dumb shit in here." He did, however, stay late after his shift, wait for my husband in the parking lot, and follow him around in his truck, while shouting at him, which my husband reported to HR. HR told him the next day, "Well, those comments were a while ago. There's nothing we can do about it now." And he didn't actually do anything in the parking lot, so if you don't like working with him, you should think about finding a new job. Multiple employees reported this coworker. Crocs chose to do nothing about it. Today, my husband was fired. He was told a coworker overheard him muttering under your breath that you would hurt people if you ever got in trouble or were let go, because people needed to be hurt, and that women impede your work and you don't like working with them. Never in a million fucking years would my husband ever say something like that. Who even does that? Who just walks around muttering crazy shit under their breath? Nobody does that. Crocs knows this is bullshit and they have no proof he ever said anything as insane as they're saying. They fired him anyway. If you're a woman, or gay, or trans, Dayton Crocs will definitely hire you. But they do not give two shits about providing a safe work environment for you. The guy that said he used to lynch beat the shit out of gay men? He still works there. For some bizarre reason, Crocs is choosing to protect the man that admitted to making all those disgusting comments and firing anyone that complains. Super cool that they sell trans and gay pride shoes but actively work to provide an oppressive work environment for gay and trans people. If you work at Crocs and you've ever thought about going to HR or calling their ethics line, don't bother. That line exists so they know who to fire. For now, we're down to my income alone, which after taxes and my terrible health insurance is around $1,500 a month for two people with a mortgage to pay and mouths to feed. Thanks, Crocs. But hey, at least instead of cash bonuses after record shipping numbers, you offered overcooked hot dogs and undercooked burgers, and got pissy when people complained. Edit, I guess I misunderstood the meaning of lynch, I didn't realize it only referred to killing. To clarify, he said he used to kick the shit out of gay men, not straight up murder them. Double edit, apparently in some states lynching can mean battery without killing, which is probably why I thought what I originally did. This is retaliation. Contact an employment attorney now. There won't be any charge for them to hear you out and they will be honest about your options up to and including suing. He has an appointment set up with the EEOC but the soonest available is November. Don't wait for the EEOC, any attorney can get the ball rolling now. Unless your husband has multiple documented write-ups for other reasons, this seems like an open and shut case and HR made a colossal mistake. They will surely settle before it goes to trial. Crocs are really popular brand with millennials and Gen Z. If you can get this going on a social platform outside of Reddit, TikTok or Twitter, a lot of customers will have an issue with this. Companies don't care about employees but they do care about profit and image. What's absolutely insane about this is the coworker said, and admitted to saying, way worse things than your husband was accused of saying. Yeah, that's why it's complete garbage. They fired her husband for a similar allegation instantly. They were looking for an excuse to fire him at that point, probably was a setup. Get as much as you can in writing. This is sabotage and slander. The biggest incongruency is that your husband never got to see the person that confronted HR, but the asshole did? Who is he related to?
Put in 2 weeks Friday. Management went apeshit and fired me. Forced them to come pick up their truck on a Sunday. Started a new job 2 months ago. I do field plumbing service work, so to speak. It hasn't been going well and I decided Friday to put in my 2 weeks. Well, giving notice I guess was a bad idea because things on the employer's side got real unprofessional real quick. My direct boss had a meltdown when I told him calmly and professional that I was quitting. Told me to fuck off and hung up on me. I took that as being fired. Their problem was I had their F350 work truck. They demanded I bring their truck back to main HQ 3 hours away without a ride home. Yesterday I emailed them and told them to come get their shit. I had the police come over and declare the vehicle abandoned. They would tow it in 24 hours. The big boss and the boss that told me to fuck off had to come all the way out here on a Sunday to get their truck before it got towed off my property. It always amazes me how so many of these overgrown children run businesses. Company that told you to bring the truck back. OP. Sounds like a you problem. Well played. Also, if you have been fired, you won't be insured to drive it any longer. Yes, if they honored his 2 weeks they could very well have made him responsible to return the truck depending on the company policies and laws, but the second they said fuck you it became their responsibility. District manager stole all our specialty pizza from the break room, dude makes $250K/year. We had a visit from all the important managers yesterday, really just one of those checkups where they try to catch you doing something wrong, and at one point the HR lady went around to everyone and told us about the pizza she brought for the employees that she had left in the break room. Yes, pizza is not enough, but this pizza was from a locally famous pizza place and we were all looking forward to having some on our breaks. By the time anyone got a break, there was no pizza or pizza boxes in the break room. Front of the house staff confirmed that our district manager took all of it, 4 to 5 boxes, when he left. He makes $250K a year and he stole the only little thing we were looking forward to that day. I mean fuck. As cliche as the free pizza thing is, they take it away from you. Why not just kick everyone in the junk as you walk out of the office, too? I would have sent a passive-aggressive email to the upper management that bought it to rat out the cheapskate manager. Thank you for getting us the pizza. Recognition of our team's contribution is greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, Mr. 30 took them away before most of our team had a chance to partake of the bounty from our favorite pie shop. The team was quite disappointed they didn't get to share in their reward due to break scheduling. Is there a way we could get another delivery so that we can all share the rewards? When they ask what do you mean took them away? Just respond that's all the information I have. When we asked about where the pizza was, we were told Mr. 30 was seen carrying the boxes out of the building. It's not accusatory, sure it possibly gives room for a liar to claim I was just throwing out the empties, but it will create doubt among the top level managers and put Mr. 30 into an uncomfortable position. Hey. I love you. Thanks for watching. I hoped you enjoyed this Reddit audio story. It would mean a lot to me if you could like and subscribe, or better yet, leave a comment about one of the stories. Thanks, and I hope you have a wonderfully fantastic day. XOXO.